Hey, hey, my creative friends. It is creativity talk time. So, yeah, here we are, another night. Let's see. Today I went to my first opera ever. Now, it's a little bit different than a play opera where there's a whole stage and everything else. This was more where they had readings and then the singing. And a couple things are that none of it was in English, the singing part, which is normal, I think. That's what I heard from people. So the singing part, I didn't understand the words, but the talking part where they would talk a little bit and have a reading, I didn't understand that either. But I did understand their body language, their facial expressions, the volume, and what I was amazed at is the total control over their voices. And, they open their mouths, and if you've ever been a choir, you know this, that they will tell you, open your mouth, let the sound come out. And I watched this one woman, and she opened her mouth. She had her mouth open quite a bit, a lot while she was singing. But she had her mouth wide open, and then this quiet sound came out with this really high note. It was so beautiful. The control with which she just released that was just like air whispering, but it was just beautiful. So we went for a lunch concert at the Swedish Royal Opera House. And the building is beautiful, of course, and it was a good experience. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I got to have that experience. I don't know if I would do operas again. There's just some things people like better than others, but there were some people there who loved the opera and go all the time and go in different countries. That's another thing I've noticed about being here is that so many people have been all over the place. In the States, you can know lots of people and they haven't gone anywhere. I was one of those people. So, I didn't go anywhere until I was 50. I went to Guadalajara when I was 15 and but that's the extent. Yeah, I didn't travel much. So, but these people for a long time, they've traveled. And anybody I've talked to so far, they all have this international home. They kind of consider home all over the place. Okay, so that was today. I'm trying to think anything else. Oh, I did a little painting for a baby shower. Did a little bunny. I should show you that, except I only have like this one picture. That's the thing is sometimes I'll make stuff and it's like it's out the door and I forget I don't take a picture of it. Not very good. So anyways, also we're going to talk more about making more time in your life so that you can have creativity, because that's one of the number one things that people say in the research that I've done is that they don't have enough time. So we are going to talk about things that will make more time and actually just kind of make your life easier. But I haven't really talked about the why behind. We know we're supposed to clean up. We're supposed to, clean up after you eat, that sort of thing. But some of the reasons why, and in this book, Joyful, Joyful, The Surprising Power of Ordinary Things to Create Extraordinary Happiness. And I will have to tell you, let's see who wrote it. Ingrid Fetel Lee. And so she has lots of things in this book about just having a joyful life. And one of the sections talks a little bit about like chores. She doesn't call them chores, but so one of the things about it is that one of the stories she tells is about a designer that was asked to go into a prison and redo their shower. And they figured she would just do the white tile like it's always been done. Hi, Trisha. And this designer decided, no, I'm not going to do only white tile. So she got a beige, a light pink beige, and like a terracotta color. And so when she put it in the shower, put the showers in the prison, she put a row of the terracotta kind of color, light terracotta, then a white, and then the peachy kind of color. and didn't think anything about it. And I don't know how long later that the prison officials invited her back and, you know, took her into the bathroom and showed her the bathroom and said, you know, the shower, I think it was a shower area, said, look at this. And she's like, yeah, so it's a shower and there's the tile. And they're like, no, look at this. And she's like, I don't understand. Well, apparently the prisoners would break the tiles so that they could use it to harm themselves and hurt others. And so there were always broken tiles in this place. And all the showers. But in this particular shower, there was no breakage. They left it beautiful. And they left it with the color. And so it was this thought, and now this is sad, that's sad on a whole nother level, but the idea was that it created a certain aesthetic, it created a certain feeling for them. And that's what she goes on to talk about more, is the feelings that are associated when we have cleanliness or when we have harmony. She calls it harmony. So this is what I'm quoting her now. Harmony offers visible evidence that someone cares enough about a place to invest energy in it. Disorder has the opposite effect. Disorderly environments have been linked to feelings of powerlessness, fear, anxiety, and depression, and they exert a subtle negative influence on people's behavior. Hello. I mean, if that's not puts in perspective, why do we keep our houses clean? Why? I mean, I do, deep down, I know. I get crazy if my house is too dirty. I mean, I think all of us have a certain level. And then if our houses are too dirty, and I mean, to the point of, I don't want to, just let's, not your normal circumstances. I mean, I don't want to make people feel bad, but it's kind of a symptom of where your head is, where your relationships are, where it is, I mean, is reflected in how we take care of our houses. And I don't mean that you have the lived in thing and there's toys all over the floor, but I'm talking mounds of stuff and rooms full of mounds. And so we have to look at it and how it affects our behavior. You're cleaning your house because of how it affects the behavior of you and then those who live there. Another thing is, she says, is a series of studies done in the Netherlands in 2008 showed that the presence of graffiti doubled the likelihood that passers-by would litter or steal an envelope, with a small amount of money in it. And then she talks about a couple other studies that people tended to let their better natures down and their behavior came not noteworthy. And so, and then they had some, and ties into that too. Researchers at University of Chicago exposed 200 people to images of the environment that were disorderly, and then it showed them environments that were nice and tidy and orderly. And each group had to take a math test before they got in, and before they viewed the images. Hi, Erica. So they took their math test, then they viewed either tidy images or not tidy images. And when they left, I mean, at the end of it, they were supposed to grade their own papers, and they got rewards for how many they did right and did well. So what happened was the people who were exposed to the disorderly images cheated on a much bigger scale. Not just cheated, but on a big scale. Big time cheated. And they have tests like that they've done that people's behavior changes because of their environment, because of those kinds of things we see. And she goes on to talk about tidiness as in putting like things together, like colors together. She has a whole chapter on harmony that's really good. She says we need some order for our minds, describing the way, this is another guy describing the way he uses harmony through balance, rhythm, repetition. Our brains need that. She talks about study after study, example after example. It's a good chapter on why do we clean. Besides everybody expects us to clean, but there are real tangible benefits for yourself and your family if your house is tidy and clean. So laundry we're gonna talk about laundry tonight. And laundry in Sweden is a big deal. So most in the city, most of the places are high-rise buildings, not like skyscrapers, but 10, 15-story buildings, and hundreds of people live there. And most of them do not, I would say all of them in those kinds of buildings don't have laundry, their personal laundry facilities. They have group ones. And you get a laundry time. So that's your laundry time. I don't know how often. I think it depends on how many people are in the building. But I think it can be like every 2 weeks. It's a long time because people will miss important things in order to not miss their laundry time. That's how, and I've read it in books and magazines. I don't really read the magazines that aren't in English, but there's you can. Anyways, yes, I've read it in magazines that are English. So it's a big deal here. At home in the States, laundry is not that big of a deal as far as you have to do it at a certain time or you don't get to have clean clothes for the next however long, or you're washing them in the sink. So that's the way it's done in Sweden. We are so fortunate that the owners of the house that we're renting put in laundry facilities, and they put in a dryer as well as a washer. And apparently a lot of places, if they have a washer, they don't have a dryer. And like downstairs, there's a clothesline in the basement. And it's heated as well in there. Well, all the rooms are heated, but there's they have single room heaters. And so you can heat your clothes to dry them. So interesting. So let's talk about laundry for us, most of us in the States so first off, just some general thoughts. Laundry will be forever. Laundry is forever, kind of like dishes. And it will always be there. You will always have it. So there's no use in having guilt over unfinished laundry because it will never be finished. So let's just put that on the table. You shouldn't have guilt about your laundry. But there are things we can do to make it a simpler process. And if you have a large, and that's what I realized here. I mean, how long have I been doing laundry? I've been married 37 years. It just dawned on me how with a large family, it's almost impossible. Almost impossible. And of course I exaggerate, but not much. Almost impossible to have laundry done, like all the laundry done. Here, with just the three of us, I'm like, woohoo, I got the laundry done, all done, and it can be that way for a day or so, or two. So, it's different with how many people you have, but laundry is forever. So just wrap your head around that. And come to terms that you have to get a good relationship with your laundry. And the second is laundry is a process. I would sometimes ask my kids, did you do the laundry? And they say, yeah. Well, they put it in the washer. It's like, what? You don't think drying or folding or putting away is part of the process? So laundry is a process. It includes all those steps. And what you need to do is find your weak link in the laundry cycle, in the laundry process. So where does it stall for you is the question. Is it sorting? Is it, clothes don't even get to the baskets? We have a laundry chute at home, so the clothes always got there. Before that, it was hit and miss, but people I don't know what it is, they love throwing the laundry down the chute. I don't like it having a laundry chute so much because you go down there and there's like this gigantic mound. But you need to find where the weak link is for you. And for me, it was folding. I hated folding, so I wouldn't do it. So I had to go, okay, I don't mind the process of putting it in, rotating it, or putting it away is not even that big of a deal because there's other people to help do that. But the folding, I was like, ugh. So one of the things I did is I made smaller loads so that I made myself a rule. I can't put a load in the dryer until I fold that load. That was my rule. And once I made that rule for myself, it went a lot smoother. Now the hard part is to get everybody else on board with that rule. And I just came to it too late for them to kind of grasp that idea, because they would just like, I'd go down there, they'd be clean clothes tossed on the table, and I'm like, what? Can't you people? You know, I was like, this is not a hard rule. But you need to find where your weak link is in that process, and then address that and make sure that's taken care of. I mean, if laundry is just a weak link all the way across, then you know what? You just try to do your best. Pick some things you can do in each process, in each part of the process. Okay, so also laundry, how you do laundry, do or don't do, how much time or effort you want to put into it should determine what kind of clothes you buy. If you don't want to dry clean clothes, then don't get clothes. You know, you don't want to drive down there, get it, whatever. Don't buy those kind of clothes. If you don't want to ever iron, then don't get clothes you have to iron. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but sometimes we just need these things said out loud, so we like, oh yeah. Hi Rose. So however you want to launder, that buy the clothes you wear for that type of thing. And let's see. So let's get into some specifics. So folding. Oh, I told you that. That was my rule. But folding, if it comes out of the dryer, before anything goes in, I have to fold it. And so, which I don't want to, Alan actually did it the other day. I walked down there and there were some folded clothes that came out of the dryer, and I'm like, who did this? But there's only he and I that are folding laundry. And I thanked him profusely. So, pull it out of the dryer. Okay, don't turn the clothes, and when you're folding and you bring it out of the dryer, don't waste the time to turn the clothes right side out. If somebody put it in there and didn't turn it right side out, they don't care. You don't care. So, because you can end up doing a lot of pulling the clothes in right side out. And then and just tell them, you know what, I'm not going to take my time with that, and you'll be surprised how the clothes can come into the laundry right side out, if they care. Sometimes people just, I don't care, that's fine. So don't turn them right side out. Let's see, folding, don't fold underwear. And if I may say, do not dry underwear with kitchen towels. Why do I know this? I would tell my kids all the time, do not, because whites, you know, they're like throwing the whites in, do not put underwear with dish towels. Something just does not sound right with that. You know what I'm talking about. So that's another little rule there. Sorting, and this goes back also to like yesterday when I said everyone lives here, everyone cleans. If you wear clothes, you learn how to wash. And we have our kids washing young. We have our kids cooking by the time they're like 3, and then washing doesn't come far after that. And they might not be part of the whole process, but they are part of the process. They are going to have to do laundry like I said, laundry's forever, for the rest of their lives. They need to know how to handle that. Let's see, sorting baskets. Have baskets that you sort them in. Have the baskets. Baskets are cheap, except if you live in Sweden. They are, but even at IKEA in Sweden, they're cheap. So sort. So you sort, obviously, lights, darks. We always had a lot of reds. I would put reds and yellows together and oranges together. But also, Alan's clothes were always way dirtier than everybody else's. So I would always wash his separately. So you can, determine like super dirty clothes. I would have one for towels and kitchen towels and one for, whites. So yeah, whatever kinds of clothes you wear, separate them and have the baskets for them. Especially if you want to teach kids how to do it, or other family members, then have the baskets. Let's see, socks. Here's a thing that really helped. We just did one type of sock, one brand of sock, one color of sock. It was just, it was like the girls' socks and the boys' socks. So, because we had a couple boys close in age, we had the little girls' socks, the older girl, so it's like, if you lose one, it's not a tragedy. But in saying that, I buy Joseph all these little fun non-matching, like they all have, if you lose one, it's like throw away the other one. But when I had a bunch of people, it's like, no, everybody gets one color, one type, one brand. It just makes it easier to do that. And then I would just throw them in a basket underneath, you know, in the laundry. And there was a sock basket. If you wanted socks, come and get them. Then, yeah, I didn't match socks. Sock basket. Okay. Then let's see. One color. This was a good thing too, because when you have 10 people, that's 2 towels for each person. That's 20 towels. And what would happen is there wouldn't be a towel. They would throw their towel on the floor, or, you know, the towel issue was out of control. Rose says, we put it in a place right by the washer and dryer to hang up clothes so things can be hung up right away, and baskets for, and I can't see the rest, but good tip, Rose. Yes, having hangers, I haven't said this one, but yeah, having hangers right by where you're doing laundry, hang it up right then and then, it hangs right there. Good point. I like that. That's what I do too. So where were we? Oh, towels. So what I did was everybody got a color, and they got 2 towels. And so guess who didn't throw their towels around when they knew they only could have, you know, had to use their color towel? They were able to find them, and they took care of them. It was a great rule to be able to have control over the towels, and especially since we had a pool, and towels are insane. But I started that way before we had a pool, so it wasn't like out of control. So one color and or type of sheets. So like the queen size, you know, were red, and all that kind of bedding was red. Stephanie's here with us now. So true, you guys are listening to some of these tips, but also put them in, like Rose did, put some tips down, because this, you know, obviously I'm not going to cover everything, but I'm just throwing things out there to think about. So for bedding, like twin sheets were white, you know, queens were red. So just have it so that it's understandable for you to be able to, because, you know, when you go to look for sheets, like, where are the sheets and stuff like that. So that was another little trick. And one color. And let's see, got all those. Okay, spot removers. To me, I get spot removers, but you know what? I don't want to stand there and go through the laundry, each shirt, looking at it and stuff like that. I mean, no thank you. So what I did was get the spot removers and put them in the bathroom where you take off your clothes, or wherever you take off your clothes. Get the spot removers up there. Because when you take it off, you go, oh, there's this thing. And then you go, and then toss it in, and it's already done. And it's working on it while it's sitting in the basket. Very rarely have I had a fabric come out poorly, or, you know, something happened to it because the spray stuff was in it too long. But it was well worth it to me when I don't have to go through the laundry, and I can just sort it and put it in. Let's see. Now, we're talking about cleaning around the area of washing machines and stuff. So one of the things is you always clean out the lint trap every single time. Every single time. And then periodically you go outside, clean out that lint trap, because there's fires. I mean, I've had friends who've had fires. I'm trying to think, Rose, did you have a fire once? Anyways, so clean out that. Hard water deposits, use the hard water things, like the ones in the sink in the bathrooms. One of them was Lime Away. If you say Lime Away in Sweden or bleach, they do not have those products here. I mean, they have something, but the bleach, they have bleach here, but you know, when you open a bleach and you can smell it's bleach, I open it up and I don't even know I've opened up bleach. So it's a little bit different here in other European countries. But clean, have different products down there for your washer. Rose, no, we didn't, but the Hogans did. That's right. That's right. They had a little fire because the lint trap had lint in it, and if you know, sometimes you don't think to check it, and so you can have a little fire. So hard water deposits to help with the washer. When you haven't seen, and wipes, to me, wipes are the most underrated tool in a house. Why? Because, anyways, I was going to tell a tip I'm going to share later on, but I won't. But wipes in the laundry room. My laundry has like the lint blows up on top of the laundry from the little vent thing. And it was just a poor design, but it's like lint is there. So just I take a wipe every so often and just wipe it down. It's so easy. I don't have to go look for the wipes because there's wipes that belong right there. I can use wipes on the lid when I clean. It's just another way to put the tools where, like we talked about yesterday, put the tools that you need where you use them. Let's see, wipes, a money jar for the stuff, a money jar and a junk jar where stuff comes out of the pockets. Learn how to clean laundry. I'm not going to even cover that because that's a big thing, but you know, learn how to dry things, learn what not to dry, learn how to wash hats or bras or those kinds of things. So learn, because that's a whole art. And so learn how to do that. If you care. If you don't care, I'm okay with it. Always never run out of laundry detergent. Never. Stock, that's one thing, stock up, because you take, for us, if we went one day without doing laundry, it was massive. And so you make sure you never run out of laundry detergent. Erica says, and Erica's my daughter-in-law, says Emma and R share a laundry bag. Oh, that's Mason and Ronan. Mason and Ronan share a laundry basket, and Paxton and Kinley Rose share one. I make sure to keep their clothes in their designated baskets. Also, you kind of keep it, that's their stuff, keep it in their basket, so then putting away would be easier and stuff like that. And she says more, but I can't see it. So go back and look at the comments afterwards. Yes, having, you know, developing, that's what I said, developing your own system, have your own process. Look at where your weak link is in the process. These are just ideas to kind of help you think about how your process is, to be able to streamline it so that you are cutting some of the time out. Because let's face it, not everybody wakes up and goes, oh, I want to do laundry today. I've only met one person that admitted they really like laundry. That's Joan, our cousin. She said she loves laundry. She talked about doing a laundry business. And my mom, she's never said she likes laundry, but when she lived with us, she was always on top of that laundry. And things came out so clean, and I was like, oh, bless you. Rose says, we had the kids take turns doing laundry, and they learned to iron as well. Excellent. Yes. The sooner you teach kids to wash, the better. And really, it's kind of on a more personal level. If you know how to do laundry and something happens in the night and you need to wash your sheets the next morning, it's more embarrassing to have to go to somebody and say, I need my sheets washed. You can, you know, you empower them to take care of their own problems, their own laundry. And so they feel a little more confident in dealing with things in moments that might not feel very confident. So let's see. Learn that. Somebody said use a salad spinner for clothes you don't want to dry. I never had that, but that might be a tip. Tell me if it works. And then also, I would say splurge on fabric sheets, fabric softener sheets, just because it makes laundry smell so good. It makes it, I mean, when you go to the towels and they just smell, I mean, you just feel accomplished, like this is beautiful. It just strikes this happy note in you when you go to the laundry and it smells great and you put it on and it smells great. I mean, it's not a have to, it's a mental game. Laundry is a mental game. And the sooner you realize that, the better. That anything you can do to make it easier, to make it enjoyable, and I use that enjoyable loosely, but you know, anything that ends, fabric sheets do that for me. They do that. When I can open it up and it smells good, when I can pop that thing out, it smells good, it's just like, a little moment of reward. So, and the last thing on our little thoughts and tips is, I taught our kids to do a lot of things early. Talk on the phone, fill in their own medical forms, laundry, cooking, all those things. And yeah, they weren't perfect, and sometimes I would have to do things over, but it empowered them. But it also made it their responsibility. So like the chore charge or something like that, they were responsible for. So if it was your turn to do dishes, you were the one responsible. And it was no small thing to be responsible for the dishes of 10 people. And so, but what happened was, I wanted to teach them life skills. But what happened, the unintended consequence that happened, was that if I did the dishes or I did the laundry on their day, they would thank me. And that just blew me away the first times that I heard them say that. Thanks, Mom, for doing my dishes. Thanks, Mom, for doing my laundry. It's like, I didn't intend that. But what a mind shift for my kids, that it's their responsibility and that they need to be part of the family and part of the whole system of how we live, and that they are not nagging me, Mom, where is my, but thanking me. It was just a little blessing there, to see them do that, and that they're nice kids that they would actually thank me. So that is those are the tips for the laundry section we're talking about. So I know I didn't cover things. I know you guys do things. So put more comments as you think about them, and go back over the last couple days. We talked about organization yesterday. We talked about cleaning the day before. So put in your tips there too, so that when we have several things that we can look at to help ourselves streamline our processes, and then therefore have more time and more headspace to be able to be creative. So remember, you have a creative heartbeat, so listen for it. And I will be back here tomorrow, and I hope you will be back here tomorrow as well. So I'll see you. Bye.